Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, 36 Hours Plus. My name's Desiree Shah, and I'm the Program and Marketing Assistant here at Times Journeys. During this webinar, you'll learn more about these independent short breaks inspired by the Times travel feature and discover what sets these tours apart from a normal city break. We're also joined today by Lisa L'Esperance, Product Manager at Abercrombie & Kent in their Private Jet and Special Interest Travel Department. She'll be taking us through some of our available destinations and giving us a look at what you can experience on a 36 Hours Plus trip. So to begin, what is a 36 Hours Plus trip? These are 4-day, 3-night short breaks, and as I mentioned, these trips are all inspired by the Times travel articles. These short trips are designed for the independent traveler and those wanting a guided experience. They're highly customizable, and you can choose your departure dates, traveling companion, and level of luxury. Each itinerary includes set activities like a tour or cooking class, as well as optional activities and suggested add-ons based on the original 36 Hours in articles from the Times. I've already talked about some of these pieces, but I'm just going to give you an overview of what the 36 Hours Plus experience includes. Firstly, there are no set departure dates, so you can choose when you'd like your trip to depart. Our 36 Hours Plus trips include 3 nights accommodations. We offer 3 choices of hotels for you to choose from, and each of our trips includes 2 local experiences or tours to give you a true local experience. During your 36 Hours Plus trip, you'll also have a 24/7 concierge service, private airport transfers, and restaurant reservation services. We currently offer 11 destinations that include the Amalfi Coast, Reykjavik, Bogota, Tokyo, Porto, Mexico City, Delhi, Marrakesh, Casablanca, Tel Aviv, and Belfast. So we have quite a few destinations to choose from, and these short trips can easily be added to a longer vacation or one of our small group tours. Before we jump into the trips themselves, why take a 36 Hours Plus trip with the New York Times? First of all, travel has always been an important part of the newspaper. The Times has been publishing 36 Hours articles for more than a decade and has covered over 300 cities in 100 countries. These 36 Hours articles offer an in-depth look for travelers who want to get the most out of a short visit, which is exactly what we are offering with our 36 Hours Plus trips. We've chosen diverse destinations that tell a story. You can travel with us to Casablanca, Tokyo, and Mexico City and explore their food, culture, and history, getting to the heart of the destination in a short period of time. Lastly, these trips let you see the destination your way. On a 36 Hours Plus trip, you can customize your travel by choosing your departure date, accommodations, and even selecting optional add-ons like a cooking class or a driving tour. So now I'll hand it over to Lisa, who will walk us through 5 of our 36 Hours trips. Lisa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Desiree, and I'm excited to share with you guys a little bit about, kind of give you a peek into some of our offerings as far as destination goes. So we'll start with Reykjavik, and in Reykjavik we have, as is true with all of our 36 Hours tours, so we'll include 2 sort of basic tours that are included in your package price, and then you can customize it additionally with other different activities and tours based on your own preferences if you wanted to add on to them. But for this trip, the two tours that are included are a privately guided city tour of Reykjavik, followed by a visit to Viðey Island, and then the second experience is joining a local family in their home for dinner. So during the guided tour of Reykjavik, this is a walking tour, so you'll have a private guide joining you. He or she will walk you through the city and point out some of the main highlights of the downtown area. And then from there, you'll board a ferry and ferry out to Viðey Island, again with your private guide, who will be giving you context, explaining what you're seeing, answering questions. And out on the island, it's a beautiful island. You'll do some hiking. You'll see one of the oldest churches in the country. There are some really interesting art installations out on the island. And of course, it has beautiful views to the surrounding areas. For the cooking experience, the dining with a local family in their home, So what you'll do is you'll go and visit, again, a local family in their actual home, and you'll join them in their kitchen, just sort of their family kitchen, and create an actual authentic meal, something that they would cook on a regular night for their own family. And then you'll sit down together and enjoy the meal together, have a conversation, you know, kind of learn more about what life is like for an average family in Reykjavik and what living in Iceland really is like, what the local experience is on a really one-on-one intimate experience. So in addition to the tours that are included on the trip, you also have a selection of accommodations. So what we've done with these trips is we've included 3 different hotel or accommodation options for each of these programs, and it's up to you to decide what's the best fit for you. For Reykjavik, we have 3 options: the Skuggi Hotel, the Alda Hotel, and the 101 Hotel. And all 3 of these options are in really great locations. So they're all located in the downtown area. They're all in locations that's very walkable to go to local restaurants, go shopping, kind of walk around on your own outside of your, you know, your touring and the things that are included in your trip. So location-wise, all 3 hotels are great options. And then from there, you just kind of decide what's the best fit for you. They do have 3 different price points. They're essentially sort of a basic hotel, a moderate hotel, and a more luxurious hotel. So whatever's right for you, you have the choice. Now, in addition to the hotels and the 2 included tours that come with every package, you also have some options. If you choose, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can add on other experiences to kind of round out your trip. So some of the things that we offer in Reykjavik are a horseback riding experience. And so that would be on the special Icelandic horses. They're only found in Iceland. It's a really fantastic experience. You kind of go through the hills, the lava fields with really spectacular views, and that's a 2-hour experience on horses. We have an option for a whale watching safari. So you're going out on a rib boat, and in Iceland, there are more than 20 species of whales in the waters surrounding Iceland, so you have a really great chance of seeing a lot of whale activity, and especially the humpback whales. There are a lot of those in the area, so that's sort of, you know, the big catch that you're going to see on that trip. We also offer a full-day tour to the South Shore of Iceland. So on the South Shore of Iceland, that's where you're going to find some really spectacular waterfalls, mountains, a lot of lava formations. There are a lot of volcanoes down in that area. And while you're down there, you actually will have a glacier walking experience. So you're going to go out on a glacier, you're going to have crampons that attach to your shoes, and actually hike on the surface of a glacier with your private guide. So a really cool experience that's an option for you. We also have a couple more excursions in Reykjavik that aren't listed here, including a super Jeep excursion into the Thorsmork Valley. So again, a lot of really interesting and varied options to make the trip your own. So another destination we offer for 36 hours is Marrakesh. And in Marrakesh, the included tours that you have are a city tour with your private driver and guide. So your guide will take you around Marrakesh and kind of hit all of the main sites. You're going to explore the Medina, which is the old walled part of the city, and that's where a lot of the really famous architectural sites are located. You'll also visit the main square. You'll see the beautiful Majorelle Gardens, very famous gardens. And then your guide will finish up the day with shopping at the souk. So you'll go to the main souk, and your guide will kind of walk you through how to bargain like a local. And, you know, these souks, it's sort of a labyrinth of tiny corridors and, you know, colorful stalls. So you'll have your guide with you to kind of walk you through so you don't get lost, and kind of give you some insider tips and hints on how to get the best deals. The other included activity during this trip is a tagine cooking lesson. So you'll have a private lesson with a local chef, and they'll teach you how to make a tagine, which is a very traditional Moroccan dish. It's a stew made of lamb or chicken plus some vegetables and spices. So they'll walk you through how to make it. You'll put it together and then get to, of course, enjoy the meal after you finish cooking, and really have that sort of authentic culinary experience in Marrakesh. Again, you've got 3 hotel options for Marrakesh. the Hivernage Hotel and Spa, the Pearl Marrakesh, and the Royal Mansour. So again, these are 3 different levels of accommodation with 3 different price points. Whatever's right for you, these are your options. So we also have, of course, some really interesting add-on options for this trip. One of them is a pottery workshop. So during this pottery workshop, you actually make your own tagine, which same word as the stew, they also call the vessel that the stew is traditionally cooked in, a tagine. So it's a clay pot that you'll actually make yourself and then of course get to take home with you as a souvenir. We've got a private belly dancing lesson that you can add on. We also have a full day excursion into the Atlas Mountains. So for this excursion, you'll have a private guide, a private driver, and they will take you on a full day trip out into the snow-capped mountains just outside the city of Marrakesh. And out in the mountains, that's where all of the Berber communities live. So you'll actually visit a couple of different villages that are filled with Berber families and actually get to interact one-on-one with the families. You'll meet one of the local families and have tea and bread, sort of a stop for refreshments, and just kind of sit with them and have a conversation about, you know, what their culture is like, what life is like for them, and get to know them a bit better. Okay. Our next option is Mexico City, another one of our destinations. So Mexico City has a lot to offer. The 2 tours that we're including in the 36 Hours program, the first one is a privately guided tour of Mexico City. So during this tour, you'll have a private guide, private driver, and they'll take you around to see all the main highlights of the city, you know, sort of your more traditional city tour. But then you'll actually have a private and special access visit to Luis Barragon's house and studio. So Barragon is a very famous architect in Mexico. And what we are able to provide is a sort of behind the scenes access visit to his art studio to see his work, a gallery of his work, and really get a more in-depth experience with the art scene in Mexico City. And then also during that tour, you will have you'll visit the Independence Monument, which does involve a bit of a climb, but at the top of this monument, you have spectacular views over the whole city. So that's also part of that tour. Additionally, you have a private cooking class and mezcal tasting included in your package. And during this cooking class, you actually get to make 2 different kinds of salsa, a red salsa and a green salsa, with a local Mexican chef. You'll learn how to make traditional Mexican tortillas, and then you'll also create a feast of authentic tacos accompanied by tastings of either mezcal or tequila, whichever one you prefer. You'll have that along with your meal. Our accommodations in Mexico City, we have a choice between the Historico Central Hotel, the Hotel Downtown, and the St. Regis. And again, all of our hotels that we choose for you, they have, they have a lot of character. They're all, you know, sort of reflecting the culture of the city and have some unique features, but they're always really well located. So that's true across the board, all of our destinations. Your hotels will always be hotels that are easy to get in and out of as far as walking, cabs, that sort of thing, into the sites and local experiences in the city. For our add-ons in Mexico City, some of the ones that we are offering are an emerging design experience. So during this experience, you actually have private access to different artist studios in the city, and that can be jewelers, woodworkers, fabric artists, fashion designers, traditional artists. There's a really vibrant art community in Mexico City, and we will take you behind the scenes and really give you private one-on-one access to multiple emerging designers, meaning, you know, young designers that are really making a difference in the art scene in Mexico City and have a very immersive experience with the local art scene. You also have an option to see the Teotihuacan pyramids. So that's a privately guided day trip out to the archaeological site. And this is an Aztec pyramid site. So you'll have your own private guide walking you around the pyramid site and really adding context and explaining a lot about the cultural history of the Aztec people. We also have an option to design your day. So essentially, this is whatever you want to do. Inside the city or outside the city, you have 4 hours with a private driver guide who will take you anywhere, do anything you want. It's really up to you. Whatever strikes your fancy, we can make arrangements for that. We are also taking a look at the Amalfi Coast. So with the Amalfi Coast, we're including a day where you just explore the Amalfi Coast with a private driver. So obviously this is one of the most stunning coastlines in the entire world. And what you will do is spend an entire day driving along the coast, stopping in some of the villages and towns along the way, getting some really spectacular views. One of the places you'll stop is the actual town of Amalfi. And in the town of Amalfi is the very famous 13th century Duomo. So you'll be able to see that, visit the town. You also have a stop in the village of Ravello, which is known for having the very best views out of all of the Amalfi Coast. So you'll stop there, be able to take pictures, visit a cafe, just enjoy the beauty of the Amalfi Coast. The other experience that's included is a cooking class at the Buca di Bacco Cooking School. This cooking school is actually located inside one of the oldest taverns in all of Positano. And here you'll get to cook a multi-course Italian feast, which of course you'll get to enjoy after you've made it and put in all the hard work. You get to sit down and actually enjoy it and have some great conversation and share the meal with your fellow cooks. And of course, it is accompanied by local wine, because when in Italy, you have to have the local wine. So that's part of that experience as well. As far as hotels, we have 2 hotels in Positano and 1 in Priano. So the Amalfi Coast encompasses several towns and villages, so we have a few different options here for you. We've got the Hotel Marincanto in Positano, La Serenus in Positano, and then the Casa Angelina in Priano. So again, 3 different options. Whatever works for you, you've got some choices here. As far as additional activities, experiences that you can add on, we have access to an artist studio. So Paolo Sandulli, his art studio is located inside an 800-year-old tower overlooking the coast. So what we'll do on this day is you'll have your private guide and driver who will take you out to his studio. You get to visit this tower, see the gallery of his work, and if he's working that day, you can observe him creating his art. And then because this location has spectacular views, you also have a drink on the terrace overlooking the coast. Really nice experience there. You also have the option to add on a full day excursion to Pompeii. So again, you'll have a private driver that will take you out to Pompeii. And then there, once you get to Pompeii, you have a private guide who will escort you around the archaeological site, really giving you an in-depth account of the history, the theories about what happened, what we've learned from Pompeii, and what we're still learning in Pompeii, and have, you know, really personalized experience at Pompeii. We also have a culinary experience. So for this experience, we are going to take you out to a farmhouse in Sorrento, where you will learn how to make pizza and mozzarella. You'll also get to have a sampling of some local appetizers, some bruschetta, some olives, other local products from the farm in the surrounding village. And then, of course, you get to enjoy lunch with wine and sort of enjoy all this fabulous food that you've been tasting and preparing over lunch. We also have an additional activity, some more options for the Amalfi Coast, one of which is a limoncello tasting experience. So again, you know, sort of that very Italian experience. We've got some interesting cultural, culinary and cultural experiences you can also add on here. And then the last destination we're going to take a look at is Delhi. So in Delhi, we, the idea behind the experiences here is exploring Old Delhi and then New Delhi. So your 2 experiences that are included here, you begin with your Old Delhi exploration. You'll have a private guide and driver, and essentially you will You'll visit some of the largest or some of the most important sites in Old Delhi, including the largest mosque in India and the Red Fort. And then you're going to kind of just taste your way through the colorful old bazaars of Old Delhi. And what you'll do here is, again, you'll have your guide with you, kind of guiding you through the labyrinth of the bazaar, and you'll taste different delicacies and different street food options. And then you'll visit a century-old tea shop and then a spice market. So again, you're getting a really rich cultural and culinary experience in Old Delhi. And then your second experience will be in New Delhi. So again, kind of the same thing, but a completely different part of the city, a different feel, different sites. So in New Delhi, you'll start with the major highlights of the city, which include several UNESCO World Heritage sites. You'll see the India Gate, you'll see some shrine complexes, the 16th century Old Fort, and then you'll finish the tour with a visit to the New Delhi market, where again, you'll have tastings of different kinds of street food and other culinary experiences that you can only find in New Delhi. In Delhi, again, we have 3 different hotel options for you. All are in really great locations in the city that give you access to the different sites and experiences right on your doorstep. We've got the Hotel Darapura, the Haveli Darapura. We've got the Taj Mahal Hotel, and then the Leela Palace. Now, as far as additional options for Delhi, we've got, because Delhi is sort of the closest major city to Taj Mahal, which is in Agra, we're offering you and actually it's an overnight excursion to the Taj Mahal. So what you'll do is you'll have a private driver who will take you to Agra from Delhi. You'll drive out there in time for sunset at the Taj Mahal. So you'll have a private guide at the Taj Mahal that will take you there at sunset when it's so beautiful, the colors changing on the marble of the Taj Mahal. You'll get to experience that with your private guide. Then the next morning, if you wish, you can also experience the Taj Mahal at sunrise and kind of see the difference in the colors and the light and the experience. You'll also have a visit to the Red Fort of Agra while you're there, and then you'll return back to Delhi. And included in that add-on is your transfer to and from Agra, the visit to the Taj Mahal and the Red Fort with your private guide, as well as your overnight stay at the hotel. So everything is included in that package. We also have an option for a private cooking lesson. So again, similar to what we're offering in Reykjavik, we have a local family home in Delhi where you'll go and visit, you'll spend time in their actual home kitchen, you'll prepare a meal, you'll prepare dinner with the family, and then sit down to eat together over a typical meal, enjoy dinner and conversation together. Delhi has some of the best museums in the world, a lot of options here. So we're including an option to sort of museum hop for the day. So we've got the National Museum, the National Gallery of Modern Art, the Natural History Museum, the Railway Transport Museum, a lot of different options to kind of mix and match on this day, whatever strikes your fancy. We'll put together a sort of museum hopping day tailored to your interests. We also have a few more options in Delhi that aren't listed here. We've got a privately guided tour, and then shopping at the Crafts Museum, which offers a lot of different local artisans. They sit at the Craft Museum. They have their own areas where they're creating their crafts during the day that you can go and see and chat with, and and purchase anything that is of interest. We also have an option for a heritage walk in one of the oldest communities in Delhi, really special neighborhood with some really interesting experiences there. So again, a lot of different options to really personalize these trips and make them your own.
Thank you, Lisa. All these destinations have so much to offer, so thank you for giving us a quick peek into what they all have. So just to reiterate here, we have these 11 destinations being offered for 36 hours plus trips. If there is a destination you're interested in that you don't see here, you can give us a call and we can work with you. So as I mentioned, each 36 hours plus trip includes 3 nights accommodations, private airport transfers, 24/7 concierge service, 2 tours or local experiences, and restaurant reservation services. So I'm now going to open this up for questions. So in the panel on the right side of your screen, you'll see a space where you can type those in. So I'll just take a quick look. Okay. So we have one here. Is airfare included to and from the destination?
No, so international airfare is not included. What is included in your package is basically everything on the ground once you land in the destination, but you're responsible for booking your own international airfare separately from the 36 hours tour package.
Thank you. So we have another question about how does pricing work for these trips? From the lead-in price, how does that work?
Yeah, so essentially what you're doing, so the base package price, which includes your hotel, your airport transfers, and those 2 main tours, that price is based on which hotel you select. So essentially there are 3 different prices for the base package depending on which level of hotel you choose. So that's the price that you're going to pay for your hotel, your activities, your airport transfers. That price is set by the hotel that you select. If you want to add on additional experiences, those are at an additional cost by activity.
And then what if someone wants to book a tour that is not mentioned as an add-on? Are there other add-on options that can be customized?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have, a special interest, or you've heard of something that you really want to check out, or, there's just something that is not listed here as sort of one of the set optional tours, we can absolutely arrange that for you. We have really excellent local offices and local guides in every destination, and they can really customize tours based specifically on your preferences. So don't hesitate to ask about anything that you're interested in seeing, and we can definitely work with you to put together the tour that really fits exactly your interests and your needs and what you're looking for. So definitely ask if you don't see it here.
Great. Okay, and someone's asked, is there an expert on these trips? So because these trips are highly customized, we can't have an expert join you. But as Lisa's talked about, each trip is really designed to give you an immersive and authentic experience. And we include activities that allow you to interact with locals and local experts, such as dinner at a family home in Reykjavik. So you have that as part of your tour. Okay, we have another question about are the tours and activities with a group?
Right, so most of them are not actually. Almost all of the included tours and experiences and activities are on a private basis. So unless it's specifically stated that you're going to be in a group setting, you can assume that everything included in the tour is on a private basis. So that doesn't mean that a site will be shut down complete for your private use, but that you'll have a private local guide that is only taking care of you. So you have a private guided experience everywhere you go, or say the belly dancing lessons, that's a private experience, or any cooking classes in a family home, that's private. So you won't be with a bunch of strangers or a bunch of other people. It's really a private experience just for you and your travel mates.
Okay. And what is pricing like for solo travelers on these trips?
So there is a single supplement for solo travelers, which if you just give us a call and check in, also I believe it's listed on the website as well, on the Times Journey website. You can check out those prices. But yes, there is a single supplement for solo travelers.
And how customizable are the 36 hours trips?
Yeah, so like I said before, while you have those sort of base inclusions, those tours and the hotels included as part of the base package, beyond that, they are really fully customizable. Between the add-on options that we've mentioned here that are sort of set and, have a price attached to them, to whatever you can come up with, we can fully customize them, work with you directly to kind of create the experience that you're looking for.
And kind of on a similar note, someone's asked if they want to make this a part of a longer vacation or trip, would you be able to help put that together for them?
Absolutely. So as Desiree mentioned at the start of the webinar, these work really well to attach to existing Times Journeys experiences. So if you were doing one of the group Times Journeys departures and then wanted to add one of these on to the front or the end, that works really well together. But even if you're not doing a Times Journey or a different group tour, if you just wanted to add this on as part of a, sort of your personal vacation to one of these locations or somewhere nearby, we can sort of attach one of these to your own plans and help you, put that together, or we can build this out into something larger that's completely tailor-made specifically for you. So, really the sky's the limit with these. We kind of have these sort of set itineraries and set programs on offer, but really they're fully customizable and can be made longer and made into, longer experiences that are tailored to you. So, just give us a call and let us know what you're looking for, and we can make it happen.
Great. And we have time for one more question. So are there any dates that are unavailable for any of these destinations, or can you travel whenever you'd like?
You can travel whenever you like. Because these are not set group departure dates, they're fully tailor-made to you. You just tell us what dates you want, and those are the dates that you'll have. The only exception to that might be, like, say, if you're traveling over certain days of the week where, like, a certain museum is closed on Mondays, that sort of thing. We would have to maybe shuffle things around or, work around that sort of thing, or holidays. But as far as, there are no blackout dates or no dates that are not included. Whatever your travel dates are, we can work with that to create the program.
Thank you, Lisa.
Sure.
Just to summarize quickly how you can start planning your 36 hours plus trip. So once you've chosen your destination, you can choose from 3 different hotel options. You choose your add-ons, such as a pottery class or cooking lesson or excursion. Decide when you'd like to go. Departure dates are completely up to you. And then once you're ready, you can call us at 844-761-7001 to start planning your trip. So with that, a big thank you to Lisa for joining us today. And thank you to everyone for listening.